Welcome back to part 2 with me, Jeff and Arthur. So Arthur, did you ever get married?
A bit of a story there, because I got married when I was quite young, because I'd met this young lady, and I was a bit naive when it come to sex and all that, because I was a late starter. And the next thing, she was pregnant. So I thought, well, I'm 17, I was serving my time as an engineer. I just started dabbling in bands a little bit. And I thought, and my dad said to me, you're not getting married, it's not happening. That caused a big rift in the family. I thought you had to get married because it was the right thing to do. Anyway, I didn't get married then. And my daughter was born, like in the May. And then, come to the following February, I was 18. And they sort of wouldn't let me see my daughter that much. And in the end, I thought, I'd gone up to see her one day, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get, this isn't, again, how naive you were.
Yeah.
I thought, it can't be that bad getting married. So I said, we'll go down, we'll arrange it. So we went down, Brown Terrace, we arranged it about 2 weeks later. So on the Monday, I didn't go to work, I told my mum I was going for a job. So I goes out, gets the bus into town, me and my cousin, our John. Then we walked up, we were in Essie's, looking at guitars.
Okay.
Then we walked up to Brown Terrace, went in, and she was there with her sister and her brother, got married, jumped the 78 back to Walewood. I walked in on Mars sent for some boiled ham and all that, we're all sitting there having a butty.
Boiled ham.
And Dad said, we might have a drink, So I said, okay. So, next thing, John's going to me. I said, we can't stay, I'm playing tonight, so I've got to go. And I'm working in the morning as well. So they said, okay, I said, I'll try and come back later. I thought, I'm not coming back. So I goes home, has me tea with my mum, goes out, and I come in from work, I think I'd been on something like St. John's Youth Club or something. And I gets in, and my mum's up. And she comes out into the hallway, and I went, you alright? She went, what's going on? And I'm like going, oh, I can't tell her I've got married, there'll be murder. I'm thinking then, she won't find out. She said, I've had it, Annette's been on the phone, and she's crying. She said, you should be there. And I went, what else did she say? She said, nothing. I went, she said, here's some money for a taxi, get a taxi up there. So it goes up. As I'm going down the street, there's a big party. All the houses are up, everyone's dancing and I'm walking down, I'm the groom. And as I walks in the house, they're like, hey, here's it. So I said to her, I said, what are you doing for me, mother? She said, what do you mean? You're my husband. I said, don't be starting all that. My mother, there'll be murder. She said, well, you have to stay here tonight. I said, I'll stay here, I'll have to go in the morning. I thought, well, this will be another day off work. So anyway, he gets up in the morning, I goes home. Tottering round of a day and all that. Has me tea. Said, watching telly. Phone goes. And I said, what are you doing? I said, just have me tea. I wasn't telling you, no. You should be here. I said, what do you mean you should be there? You wants to get married. I've got married. Okay. What else do you want? You're not getting this, are you? You should be living here. I'm not living up there. I'm happy with me mum. Anyway. I thought it's just getting worse and worse and I'm going. The following day I'm sitting there, I couldn't eat my tea. I was bagging nerves telling my mother. My mother went to me, there's something on your mind, son. Something you want to tell me? I said, Mum, what would you do if I just, because of Sandra and all the baby, and what would you do if you just went and got married? She went, I wouldn't do nothing, son. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You're not going to get over the baby. I said, no, Mum, I love the baby, She went, if that's what you want to do, son, go and do it. And I went, I did it on Monday. She went, you did what, son? I got married on Monday. She went, you got married on Monday. And I went, yeah. She went, you little... She battered me and sent me to bed. It's about 7 o'clock. I'm lying in bed going, I'm actually a husband and I've just been sent to bed. So I kept asking, can I come? No. And she wouldn't let me come down. There was no tellies then, you just lie in your bedroom like that. And my dad was working on taxis, he come in about 3 o'clock in the morning and I heard my mum trying to stop him coming upstairs. I was crying. I was sobbing. I thought, my dad's going to batter me now, my dad, I'm really for it now. Why did you just go and get married? Anyway, the next morning, gets up, comes out of my room, my dad said, get down here. Comes down, Dad said, get your clothes and get out. And I went, what do you mean, get my clothes and get out? He said, you're not living here anymore. Get out. So they literally threw me out. So I had like a bag with a few bits in. I was sobbing. I walked across, my nan lived over the road. So I went to my nan's. There was no phones then, was there? So my nan opened the door. She went, oh Christ, young Arthur, come in, young Arthur. Put the kettle on, I'll Arthur, young Arthur's here. What have you done? My mum busted me. My dad threw me out. Oh, don't be worrying, lad, you can stay here. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. What's happened? I said, I went, and she went, you went and what, lad? You did what? You went and got married? You little... She gave me a hand and she threw me out. And that was in the Zachary, and I had to walk all the way to Wales. And when I got there, they were all made up. I was crying for about 3 days. When they give you a cup of tea, the cup wasn't clean. My mum was dead. Like, you go like that, there'd be like a thing, and I'd be going, that's got a bit of a
tide mark.
now you wouldn't care. You'd eat out of a jam jar an hour, drink. But then your mum and dad had their mum with Chinese cups and all that, you know. I've been used to all that. And all of a sudden I was living in Aylwood. And as it was, they were good. They were a great family anyway, you know. That was me getting married thing, and that's all I lasted. And then next thing I started playing in bands.
And playing in bands. So what is that where the murder started? That's with the jealousy, or maybe?
I think I didn't really play. I played in Liverpool quite a while in certain bands, and then I joined a band called Pepperbox, who were quite big in Liverpool at that time.
Yeah.
And they done a lot of travelling. So I played Liverpool quite a bit, but then we were travelling all the time. And I got used to the travelling. And then whatever happened with them, I went with another band. I was in a band called Colonel Bagshots for a little while.
Okay.
I was in a few little bands, and then they all good bands like.
What music did you play? Did you play your own stuff or a mix?
Not really, no. We mainly done covers. When I worked with Kenny Parry, we done a lot of Kenny songs.
Okay.
And again, because I was married and all that, you know, you still had to earn some sort of living. So, unfortunately, the money side of it come into it, because you otherwise you had 2 kids by then, you know.
Okay, so you got a daughter and a son?
A son, yeah. That'd be someone.
What's the name of the daughters?
Sandra and John.
Sandra and John.
So Sandra was born when I was still working, saving me time. And John was born when I was in Scandinavia.
Scandinavia? What was you doing over in Scandinavia?
Working. The band I was with went to Scandinavia for about a month, 5 weeks. And I was over there for about that length of time. Just doing all round, you know,
Norway,
Bergen and all that, yeah. All over Bergen, Norway. And then we come home and then just back on the road again.
What was you doing? Was you living in hotels or in a van, or what was your accommodation?
Yeah, mainly like, some of the bed and breakfasts. Because you were driving and all that, you know, you'd get, some of them you'd go in, and it might be 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, particularly when we stopped, and you get the guy, well, he's just sitting, you know, all right boys, you know, 5 scally lads coming in like that. And he'd go, have you got any beds? He'd go, yeah, lads. Do you want your breakfast before you go to bed? And we go, yeah, I'm starving. So he'd do his old bacon, egg and all that. So it'd be at 6 in the morning then, so he'd go upstairs like that, and next thing he'd knock on the door. Say, Harry, come on. And he'd open the front door and go, all right lads, these 2 are in here. And we go, and these 2 wagon drivers be getting out the beds, scratching the behinds, and like they'd be going. And they go, yeah, lad, nice and warm for you, that lad. Yeah, I'll get in there. We're all going, oh my God. You'd have to, but you'd be that tired. You just went, I got stripped off. And the lad in the band, the drummer, he said, I'm not taking my clothes off. He said, I'm not even going to get in it. He said, I'm going to lie in it. I said, I'm getting stripped off and getting in it, mate. You don't know what's going to go into your clothes. So that's one of the digs we stayed. And the next morning, about 11 o'clock, he does all a mug of tea, and off we go to the next gig on the road and all that. When you got down the road about 10 minutes, and this drummer's going, so I went like that, and I went, oh, you're full of fleas. All your clothes. So we had to stop and get bin bags out of the chemist. And he had to get his cake out the boot, his case, and then put all the clothes in the bin bag, and not the bin bag. And it was jumping. It was fleas. Oh, we had to defume. But some of the places you stayed, we stayed in some really nice places.
Yeah.
Some of the bed and breakfast ones were pretty rough, like.
What were the crowds like in Norway? Was it in Sweden? The old takers with like the Beatles?
The lads had been before I joined the band, and they were, you thought you were like half decent in Liverpool.
Yeah.
If you got recognised in the street. Over there were stars.
Wow.
It was just like, as soon as you went into the town, you know, all the girls, it was like being like at a lesser scale, like, but in a really big band.
Yeah.
Because no bands went to this place where Bergen, no English bands went there. So we were one of the first to go, well they were, and then when I went again, they'd already made the mark. So you were doing like big festivals and stuff like that, but you were like stars. It was great, and then you come back to England and you were playing somewhere in Duke Street. You know, up the stairs.
Not the toilets, the dressing room, not the toilet.
Carrying everything up the 2 flights of stairs.
I just want to pick your brains. What guitar did you use? Was it like a Rickenbacker or what? Can you remember?
I think when I first started, I had a Fender Telecaster.
Yeah.
And then I used a Gibson Les Paul for years and years.
Who was your influence? You know, who do you think was you looked up to as a guitar player?
See, everyone says this, and I think because I started singing first, and not really taking guitar that serious. When I started taking it serious, I didn't really watch any guitarists. I mainly learned off the guys who I worked with.
Yeah.
Some of the guitar players I worked with were really good guitarists, and they were all, when you sit in the dressing room, they were all willing to show you little bits. So when we were working somewhere away somewhere, and the guitarist left, lads all said to me, "You've got to go on guitar." So that was sort of the deep end, and that was when I probably started playing guitar more.
So did you have a chord book of anything? Or?
No, but again, it was just the record player lifting the needle. You'd be like that for ages. And half the time, half the chords are wrong anyway. I still play half the chords wrong. still don't learn them. But that was why you had to get the words off.
Yeah.
And all that. So, you know, the Tucker was the same. You had to listen to the record or stop it and write them down, you know. And then the lads, the bass player Gary, started getting the words off of Tucker and printing them off. And we used to go mad because Tucker had a new song, you know, he'd just come in and he'd have the words and you'd have to learn it. So we'd do somewhere like, say, I was St Cooper's or the Big House, and you get there a bit early, and there'd be people in. Tucker would come in and go, all right, just want to rehearse this song. So you don't know it, and then obviously you get a bit through it, and then you'd stop, and then you get a bit more through it, stop again. But there'd be all people sitting there, you know, and you do the song about 15 times, and they'd all be sitting there, and you come off.
Change the record.
You know, they'd all be sitting there going, oh, it's okay, all right, and he goes, shut up, do it again. I had to come in on that army, but come in a bit louder there, and then that's how we do it. And then we go on and we'd start with it. They'd all go, "You're not going to start with it, are you?" And he could start with it. Sometimes he'd start with it. Then you do it, and you go, "It's all right, I want to do it again." And we just gone on, and so we do it again. He very rarely cared about people, you know, people thought, or he was quite funny in that way. Like he'd just go, "I'm going to, you know, if he liked the song and he'd done it once, and he'd go, I really enjoyed that, I'm going to do it again." And he'd do it again, I think twice.
Where did Tucker start off? Because I've seen a video, it was in the cavern, was it on the telly?
At least, again, all them lads, a lot of them lads started at Alan Greer and people like that. Yeah. They were like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
They all started getting, because there was nothing else then, obviously there's nothing there. So the street corners, someone had a guitar, and then someone would be singing, so someone else said, "I'll get a guitar." And whatever they could get, they did. And they learnt a lot they learnt all their trade. Literally by the time they were 14, 15, they were all quite good at what they did. They were at such an early age. Tucker was doing pubs and all that at like 14. Yeah. And he said he used to do one of the bands, I think it was one Jerry Devine, who's not long just passed away. He used to get it with one of their bands. And they smoked, everyone smoked then, didn't he? He'd give Tucker like a couple of woodies, you know. And he'd go again, and the following night he'd go, something made up with it, because he knew all the country stuff. And he was learning stuff from America. So they'd be made up when he come in, so they'd be telling him to come down. So he ended up working with these bands, he'd be doing like 3 and 4 or 5 nights a week. And he said it was crazy, I'd get 2 ciggies or 3 ciggies. And someone said to him, "These get about £4 here, you know." He said, "What?" He said, "They get about £4." He said, "I get some Woodbines." So that was the start of Tucker going. They saying, "Are you coming in tonight, Tucker?" And he went, "I'm not getting up." And that's when he starts to say, you won't pay him, like.
So £4, how much is £4 a day?
God blimey.
500 quid or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. They were all split money then.
Yeah.
When I started, it was bad enough. Like,
yeah.
You didn't really do it for the money, but considering if you were serving your time as an engineer, you're only earning like £2.50 a week. And as I say, when you come home from work, you daren't have that open. Your waste packet went to your mum, and then she might give you 40 pence back. That'd be your bus fares to work, so you pretty well learned how to walk to work, because then you could save all your money. So hail, rain or snow, you walk to work anyway, because otherwise you had no money at the end of the week to go out anyway.
So that's why you got kicked out, because
that's why I was kicked out. They must have been gutted. That was like a regular income.
Anyway, it's time back for part 3 of Arthur and me, Jeff. Take care.